Hello peeps, how are we all doing? Good, I hope. So I've just come back from the Veterans Hub today. I've got this t-shirt. I don't know if you can all see it, but never a truer word spoken. So I did a video day before yesterday, I think it was, where I was trying to follow up on Keith's post about being the enemy. And as a couple of people have mentioned to me, the video didn't come out right, or the audio side of it didn't come out right. So I'm doing this one to cover up on that one. But I've got to show you this. This has arrived today. Yeah. A beautiful Les Paul style guitar. Lisa's always said to me, don't you buy any more guitars? Well, unfortunately, I bought this one, but I'm probably going to get rid of one of my other ones to compensate for it. So that means I've now got 5 guitars upstairs. But I'm looking forward to playing that one later on. So when we talk about being the enemy, now I've been the enemy on various occasions. One of them was while I was out in Germany. And I was attached to the 1st Battalion, the Black Watch Royal Highland Regiment. And I was playing enemy, and myself and my crew member, Willie Gordon, who was my driver for my 434, we've been tasked to go out and to recover a 432. And we arrived at the location, and while we were there, suddenly we got bumped. Yeah, and it was by the Belgian Special Forces. So we returned fire and everything, but eventually the umpire looked at us and went, "No, lads, you're out of the game." So the umpire turned around and told me the fact that we were going to be out of the game for at least 4 hours. Well, for me and Willie, that was brilliant. Yeah, because we've been on the go for a day or two, just catnapping as we were going along. We thought, okay, we can actually get a chance to have a brew, have some scoff, get our head down for a couple of hours and we'll be sorted. So I radioed through to our workshop HQ and spoke with our ASM, who was a bloke called Charlie Barrett. Now, Charlie Barrett looked and sounded like Blakey off on the buses. And those of you that know about on the buses, you'll know that Blakey was the inspector. And whenever I used to speak to the ASM and said, ASM, I've got a problem, all Charlie would ever come out with, not my fucking problem. So that's why we all knew the ASM was Blakey. Charlie Barrett was a cracking bloke. I managed to speak to him a couple of years ago, and he still remembered me and I still remembered him. And it was his daughter that got in touch with me. But I hope Charlie's still around. If you are Charlie and you see this, yeah, drop us a note, mate. I'd like to get back in touch with you. But I radioed through to Charlie Barrett to say that we were now at the game for the next couple of hours. And all I got back from him was, do as you bloody well told, Corporal Clark. Yeah. Get back to this location. Yeah. Well, what he didn't know was the umpire was stood right next to me. And the umpire took the radio headset off me and said to him, call sign 43 Alpha is out of action. He will be for the next 4 hours, and I will be monitoring to make sure that he stays here for those 4 hours. Yeah, so that was great for me and Willie, because it meant we could get the boiling vessel on. If you don't know what the boiling vessel is, basically it's a kettle, and it's what we have on our armoured personnel carriers. So we can boil up water, we can even cook food in it. So we stuck the BV on, got some scoff on, yeah, and relaxed for the next 4 hours. Well, like I say, it was the umpire. As Keith was saying, the umpires wear a white band around their helmet and a white band on their sleeve. And yeah, sure enough, the bloke kept coming back just to make sure that we hadn't moved. The other time I did enemy, I was the actual umpire. Yeah, and funnily enough, the guy that I ended up having to monitor was a guy that I'd been an army cadet with him, yeah, and then I'd served with him at 17 Port Maritime. down in Marchwood. And Weetabix, as he was known, was playing enemy, and he was stuck up a tree, and there was the advancing troops coming towards us, and Weetabix was acting like a sniper, and he was popping off guys left, right and centre. And of course, we were using the SAWS kit, as Keith mentioned. Now, SAWS kit was a laser system very similar to what you would use in Civvy Street as Laser Quest. And you had all these sensors around your helmet, around your webbing. And if you took a direct hit, it would come up and scream and tell you that you were dead. If it was a close miss, it would beep to let you know that, rounds have passed you by. But Weetabix was up in the tree, and he was popping up guys off left, right and centre. Well, I had the God gun, as Keith called it, the umpire's gun. And on there was a selector switch where you could neutralise the alarm and bring a person back to life, or you could actually fire at people. And after a while, I got a bit bored, and I started firing at Weetabix. And of course, his system was going off. And he was adamant that no one could have shot him, not from where he was. And of course, I was going and neutralising it. And then after a couple of minutes, I'll go and shoot him again. And let go off. And this went on for a good half an hour or more, till eventually I had to admit it was me that was actually setting the alarm off. Some of the things we used to do, incredible. The other one that I did was I actually infiltrated the old command workshops at Strensall in York. And what it was the what had been the 2IC at 15 Field Workshops had rung me up. He'd been posted as the officer commanding of the command workshops in York. And he got in touch with me in 15 Field in Catterick and asked me if I could do him a big favour. So what it was, he wanted us to infiltrate the command workshops at Strensall. So I put a team together, and we went down to York, and sure enough, we got in, and Captain Vanstone, or Major Vanstone as he was when he was there at the command workshops, walked into his office to find Sergeant Clark sat at his desk with his feet on his desk. And he just looked at me and he said, so how many people have you got in, Sergeant Clark? I said, there's 5 of us, sir. How did you get in? I said, I came in over the fence. No one challenged me or anything. I had one guy that came in through the main gate, and all he did was he used the back side of his Barclay card and flashed it at the guy on the gate, these were mod plods, as they were called in them days, MOD police. And he got in. We had guys coming in all sorts of ways, but one of the guys, a bloke called Sergeant Mac McMurty, who was our armourer, was being given a guided tour around the armoury at the command workshops. So Major Vanstone wasn't a happy man, the fact that we got in, the way that we got in. And it's my understanding that the person in charge of the mod plods, got himself a new backside tube. Yeah, quite rightly so, because, this was a place where during this time we were in the IRA situation with the terrorism. But it's like Keith said, playing enemy on any exercise used to be fun. The only time I wouldn't say it was fun is when we were doing things called Fibula, fighting in a built-up area. Now, as the enemy, you had to work as hard as the guys that were actually trying to attack you, because you had to set up all the defensive positions. You had to put all the barricades in the way and everything like that. And it was hard work, especially if it was a hot day. Because there you are, fully kitted up with your weapon, your combats, your webbing, and you were working as hard as the guys that were trying to attack you. So, great times playing enemy. Sometimes you get older foreign weapons, so you can play around with those. But like Keith was saying, great times. How the guys do it now, I honestly don't know. Like I said, I retired from the military 25 years ago now. In fact, it'll be 25 years ago this July. But whether they use the same systems such as saws, I don't know. Keith mentioned about the fact of the anti-tank. There used to be a sort of saw system for the anti-tank system, which would then fire off a laser beam and hit tanks, and the tanks, the amber light that they would normally use for travelling down the road, that would then come on, to say that they've been hit. So, yeah, like I say, this is like take 2 of the video that I tried to put out the other day about being the enemy. Now, hopefully you can hear this one. In fact, I'm going to check it before I even send it off. But I've got home from the Veterans Hub today. I had a great time with the guys at the Veterans Hub down in Loughborough. We meet up every Friday. We have a 2-hour session between 10 and 12. If anyone's watching this and you're in the Loughborough area and you're a veteran, please come along to Asher House in Loughborough. It's easy to find, Fridays, 10 till 12, is veteran session. Please come and join us. Most of us, in fact, all of us, I don't know anyone that I served with, but most of us have never served together, but you wouldn't believe it if you speak to her or sit there and listen to us. It's as if we were back in the old days. So I'm going to set up my guitar and have a quick strum while Lisa's at the hairdressers. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm not asking you to do it. We don't do that. I'm asking you to consider it. If you want to listen to old farts like me and Keith waffle on, then please feel free. If you do subscribe to my channel, please drop me a comment, in the comment section. Let me know that you've subscribed. I will guarantee you'll get a reply, because I'm one of these people that I love the subscribers subscribing to my channel, but I also like to have that bit of interaction with them, just to say thank you for actually trying to assist me to make this channel grow. So I'm going to be doing a bit more tabbing, because obviously I've got this 100 miles in May. I'm not going to make the 100 miles through May. I'm going to have to continue it into June. There's various things that have been going on, which I explained before, whereby I've had to take some time out. But to all of you out there, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, get out in the fresh air while you can, and as Keith and I always say, let's tab.